Okay, hi. It has been a very poor week of productivity because I've been fighting off some form of bug. A lot of people at work got sick, and so I, of course, had a lesser intense focus because I've been feeling sick and there's like this bug going around, right? And so it's Sunday. I have 1 week-ish till law school. I have to get through 10 chapters of my accounting book. I kind of procrastinated throughout winter break, but can you even call it procrastination if I was resting? I feel like it was another form of productivity, but in the form of rest. And so, yeah, today we're going to finish up reviewing 1 through 10 for the fifth millionth time. I'm going to try again. I am going to get it done today. I am telling myself that regardless of how well I get it done, I'm going to get it done. I tried studying last night and the day before and the day before, and I even tried vlogging that, and it didn't go well. I pretty much would say, I'm going to do this in the evening, and then after work I would feel like really sick and really dead. And so that's not what we want. And so now it really is grind time because I don't have time to not grind. And so we're just going to lock in, not really think about time, take away the aspect of anxiety from it, I guess, and just do it. And that's pretty much how I get through intense sessions like this. And it's much easier said than done, but during finals, I just wouldn't think because if I would think, I would freak out. And so I would just focus on the material and try to learn it to the best of my abilities. And so yesterday, I tried studying. It didn't work. I couldn't read the words on the page. So we're going to try again. It's about 11:15 right now on a Sunday. The fact that I got out of bed is a win, given I haven't been feeling great. I had to call out work on Friday because I was feeling sick. But yeah, I'm gonna do deferred taxes and stuff. At some point, I will need a Diet Coke from Quick Trip, as you guys know. Like we're at that point. But let's see where we're at. We're at. Okay, so I got through chapters 1 through 3 when I was sick, drilling wise. And I think that's a win because I was sick. And it was slower, but it was at least something rather than nothing. And then yesterday I wrote in blue because, as you guys know, blue marker pen helps you memorize better. The answers to chapter 3 because I just didn't have, like, I would look at the question, I would answer it, I wouldn't type it up, I would answer it in my head and then see how the answer in my head was different from the actual question. But now we're on to measurement, valuation, and disclosure of liabilities, chapter 4. Okay, so I think I skimmed this yesterday, but I didn't actually do anything. I definitely am going to do income tax practice because I know I'm not very good at that. So I skim what I know I'm good at, and then, like, I know I can do it because I've done it so many times. But the stuff I don't know how to do, which I know I don't know how to do, I practice. So I'm going to do that with income taxes. But yeah, today is a study day. We're on chapter 4. We need to get to chapter 9. So 5 chapters, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I guess 6 because we're including 9. 6 chapters to get through, but since I'm mainly done with 4, we'll get there. And at this point, we're just trying to make progress. We're not trying to be perfect because we are at the point in the time crunch. We just have to keep going. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. It's 12. I got through chapter 4 multiple choice, and I finished up chapter 3, like re-reviewing it. I need to get through chapter 4 essay, but I really am having trouble focusing, so I'm going to go get a Diet Coke from Quick Trip. I am going to wear a lot of layers because I still feel somewhat sick. um, but we're just going to keep pushing and taking lots of breaks because I'm not too sick to not work. I'm just like recovered. Okay, so I got the Diet Coke. In all honesty, I don't want to keep studying, but since I have 5 more chapters after finishing this essay, I have to keep going. I feel like online content constantly shows motivation, and people always are motivated online, but that's not the truth. Sometimes studying looks like this, and I don't want to study. I have been wanting to study for a really long time, and I have to because I need to get through this. Yeah, so back to it, I guess. I might listen to music to help make this process a little better. I need to figure out the tax question, and I kind of zoned out mid question, so I'm going to restart. Hi, guys. So I'm halfway through chapter 5, drilling. I started rereading the words over and over again, which means I really need to take a break. So I'm gonna go for a drive, do some errands, and then get back to it. That means I have half of chapter 5, chapter 6, 7, 8, and 9 left for the day. Luckily, it's only 1 o'clock, but yeah, I really just need a long break, and then I'm just gonna keep going. So yeah, I will see you guys after my break. It is unrealistic to expect yourself to be motivated all the time to be studying. And so you have to have tricks and mechanisms to ensure that you are able to study even when you're not motivated. So what do? I have music. I always use music as a way to get me excited to study, pumped up to study. So music is a really helpful tool. I have physical mementos that remind me of why I'm doing this. So I want to be a disability law litigator and a guardian ad litem to advocate for children with children of divorce. What do? I have a little memento that reminds me of when I was a kid and how I had this little cat that I would carry around all the time. Um, so I have a little dog, just how I was when I was a kid, I would carry around that cat. And so I bring that little dog, I bring it with me to tests, I bring it with me to class, I bring it with me everywhere, bring it with me to work. And it reminds me why I am doing what I am doing. And then I also do use caffeine. I use Diet Coke. Diet Coke is a huge tool for me to do well in school because tiredness is a part of school and that's just how it is. And sometimes just writing on your page why you want to do this. So, why am I studying for the CMA? Why am I studying to be a lawyer? What is my reason? And just constantly remembering why helps you get through it. And so, a huge reason how I got through my first semester of law school is by having that physical memento of why, but that physical memento reminded me why. So it reminded me why I wanted to work with kids, that my challenges of facing school and the difficulty of it is much less than the benefit of the numerous kids that would benefit from me being an attorney. And so you just have to remember why. You just have to keep going. It's really easier said than done, and it is a challenge. But I think failure sometimes is hard to achieve. Like, it's very hard to, like, fail. Like, to fail, you have to do everything wrong. But if you just keep going, you won't fail. If you just keep, even if you get an F in the class and then you retake the class, that's not failure because you're still going. You know what I mean? So, actual true failure is an extremely challenging thing to achieve, but it happens when you simply just give up. You know what I mean? Once you just give up on something you truly do love and you know that's best for you, giving up is failure. Okay, I'm going to add more milk now that I've drank more Diet Coke. Let's see. I'm also probably going to throw on a sweatshirt because I'm a little cold. But yeah, I hope you guys see how, like, some days the studying looks so different compared to some of my other productive vlogs. Today is much slower, which is fully okay. But I think the fact that I'm even doing anything is a win. Okay. I love my Diet Coke lattes. I think it's such a simple pleasure, but it helps me get through studying so easily. So, yeah. Oh, I thought my mic was off for a second. Okay, we're good. As you can see, I'm taking this very seriously because I do think raising awareness about how neurodevelopmental people operate differently in academia is essential. I think it's so important to show you guys how ADHD brain looks different than what you see online. And I am doing this whole channel to raise awareness about learning disorders and neurodevelopmental disabilities and hidden disabilities. And so I invested in a mic because I really do care about this, and I do genuinely feel like this needs to be talked about. And so here we are. Also, no one teaches anyone how to study, ever. Ever, ever, ever. No one teaches anyone how to study. Like, unless you have gone through it yourself and gone through, like, a college preparatory school or something, no one really teaches you how to study. And then on top of that, you have learning disorders, so you have to learn how to study for those disorders to make up for those deficits. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I created this channel, and I'm going to get back to it. Here I come, revenue. Okay, so I watched the Life of Riza YouTube video because she explains, like, what to do on when you feel like giving up, frankly. Like, when you feel like just not continuing and not persevering. And after that video, I just feel extremely motivated. And I feel like it just made me feel like this is worth it. My studying will be worth it. And I just have to keep going. And so now I have a random burst of motivation. I have the caffeine in me. I'm going to do this. I woke up. I wasn't very excited to study, as you guys literally saw. It is 1:20-ish. And I'm going to keep going. Excuse me, 2:20. I'm going to keep going because that's all I can do. And I'm working my butt off. And if I keep working my butt off and I keep going at this rate, I will pass. And so I can do this. I got a burst of motivation. I'm going to study. I am going to set 55-minute timers so I don't lose track of time and I can get through this. But yeah, I think I'm going to set the goal of to get through chapters 7. And then once I hit 7, I can take another long break as a reward. So thanks, guys, for bearing with me through my different phases of emotions regarding studying. And that's important to see, that you study regardless of how you're feeling and regardless of your mental state. Unless you're in a terrible mental state, you shouldn't be studying. But it's important to see that your emotions and your mood don't determine how hard you work. You work hard regardless of your mood. And so let's do this. I'm back. I can do this. We're getting out of the slump, guys. It's excellent. It's great. Yay. Okay. We got this. Hi, so I just missed a question. When doing accounting processes, it's really easy to mess up the ordering and understand when it's cumulative or when it's not cumulative. And so what I'm going to do, since I mixed it up so much, I'm just going to pretend and restart as if I now know how to, as if it's a new question, and do it in the same process that I just learned, but without even looking at the answer. And so this will help emphasize that wiring in my brain and show that I know it and I can do it again. This helped me a lot with the logic games on the LSAT. Those are now removed. But by rewiring your brain from your old incorrect use of the method to the new correct use of the method, you have to do it at least one more time to emphasize in your brain that the old method is wrong. And I did this in the last video, but bright colors show you in your brain, especially if you're a visual learner, which most people are, that something is wrong. And so bright colors help your brain when you're like, okay, thinking back, oh yeah, when I did the method this way, it was wrong because I used a red pen. And this could even work for tactile learners because you're going into your pencil pouch and grabbing a red pen to prove that your current method is incorrect. So I'm going to do it again and do it correctly this time to emphasize in my brain and wire my brain to do it in the correct method. Okay, so when I redid it, I now got it right, which means hopefully on the exam, I'll be fine. So now we're moving on. If you guys are new here, I cover up the answers by simply folding the page so I don't see the answer. I don't know if this is helpful, but I hope it is. Okay, so we have this block of text, right, for number 11, which is the one I just missed that I was talking about. And so when you get a timeline or things that are in a list like this and you know you're going to need it, put it in a format in your scratch paper that makes sense to your brain. And this is what I do with my cheat sheets that you've seen in other videos. So the project actual costs were 500,000, 900K, and 600K. So ignore what I missed, right? In my book, I made a chart that made sense to me. So the actual costs, I made a table pretty much, Y1, Y2, Y3, and then I put what the question was. So if this were me on the test, I would come back and see all this material clearly in a format that my brain understands rather than a block of text. I have said this before, but I'm just going to repeat if you're new to my channel. Okay, we are on to chapter 6. So that gives us 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4 more to go. And looks like chapter 6 is mainly conceptual. So I'm going to skim through that. And yeah, we're back to it. Okay, we are on to chapter 7. I wrote up 2 things I need to memorize regarding the IR framework, like internal reporting. But the thing is, integrated reporting. the IR integrated reporting framework because I literally don't. I haven't memorized that, and I know I need to memorize it because it was on an essay question. And if it's on an essay question, it's likely it will come back on another essay question. The creators of exams give you hints by showing you through practice what to expect on the actual exam. And so I need to memorize that because I'm imagining like the frustration I get to the test and I just don't have it memorized. And so I lose all those points or I don't obtain all those points. And so what I'm going to do with so there's like 9 content elements and then there's 7 guiding principles. And the content elements are what are like actually required and the guiding principles are just like how you can present them. And so I made up a mnemonic for each one. Mnemonics are how I memorized throughout undergrad, throughout postgrad, mnemonics. If you don't know what a mnemonic is you make up a story or like a couple words in your head to help you memorize. So like for the, content elements, I said, as a boss, double B. So I do BBOS. You need, as the boss of an org, ORG, you need to keep it PG. And so I know BBOS, ORG, PG. And then I can determine what all the content elements that are required for integrated reporting. And that's really important because it's really hard with learning disorders and then just ADHD, you get overwhelmed really easily with the amount of information thrown at you, leading to a short-term, because of your short-term memory deficit, you can't really keep up with all the information thrown at you at once. Like we can only be given so much at once and then like regurgitate that information. So that's why mnemonics are extremely helpful. I'm going to do a quick skim through chapter 6 because I'm not going to lie, I'm rusty. I don't really remember much of it. I'm going to do one more skim through. And then 7, 8, 9. We're making progress. Guys, I'm getting out of the slump. It's happening. Oh my God, this is excellent. We can do it. Yeah. Somehow it is almost 4 o'clock. It's 3:42. And I told you guys I would set an alarm. I did not. And so I'm going to take like a break. I'm at chapter 7. I did about half of the multiple choice and I'm literally just answering in my head. I'm not writing it down because we are on a time crunch. You can literally see the difference of me exiting the slump and it's excellent. But to stay out of the slump, you have to take breaks. And so I'm going to take a break. We'll see if my friend wants to see each other real quick because we're neighbors. And so it's excellent. We can just see each other whenever. And then I'll jump back into it. So yeah, it's 3:43 now. Wild how time goes. So I decided to walk to my friend's house to get some movement in because I know I'm getting restless with ADHD when my knee starts bouncing or I like start moving a lot. And so movement can help counteract that hyperactivity. And so like fitting in small things like a walk to a friend's house during your break can help counteract the hyperactivity that we naturally have as beings. Hi guys, so it is 6:12. I saw my friend, I had dinner, and now we're back to studying. Let's see, we're on chapter 7, so we have 2.5 chapters left. The hardest grind is the final lap, so we're going to do it. We're just going to do it, and I'm going to listen to music, and it'll be great. Chapter 7's done. 2 more to go. We're so close. Okay, so I realized I still have to do 55 minutes of drilling tomorrow morning because that's how it is until the exam. So I'm actually going to be doing chapters 8 and 9 as drilling because it is really intense calculations and I want to have an accurate estimate of how well I'm doing on them. And if it's the end of the day, I'm not as productive. And so I think we're going to call it quits for the day. I'm really proud of the progress I made. I did the finish up chapter 4 and I got through chapter 7, which is excellent because these chapters are dense. That's it. So I'll be doing drilling of chapter 8 and 9 tomorrow morning. And I think I'm going to wrap it up and just vibe because it's a marathon, not a race. You need to take breaks. Goodbye.